This is Meri at the Meri Atelier, and this is part 4 of the Valentine Premiere Zine collaboration that I'm participating in. It is being hosted by Raul Reynolds and Jasper. Thank you very much for hosting it. I've had a really good time. I've been very busy making zines. So for part 4, I'm still on shapes and doing shapes. On part 3, I did the Valentine heart shape in a small square. And in part 2, I did the rectangle. In part 1, I talked about planning and templates, and we're going to talk more about templates in part 4. So let me get these out of the way. In part 4, I did lovebirds. Very simple lovebirds, but it was a challenge. And it was a challenge because I had to figure out how to get these little birds, the connector points, and my first little bird that I did was really fat. I was only going to do one bird, but the way it ended up, I did 2, and I'm going, wow, they're lovebirds. So I chose Chaucer's Parliament of Birds poem. I found it on WIKI when I searched for Valentine Day. So, and it reads, for this was on Valentine Day, when every bird comes to choose his mate. Of every kind that men may think of, and that was so huge a noise they began to make, that earth and air and tree and every lake was so full that not easily was there a space for me to stand, so full was all the space. And I experimented with doing some of this Disco Art Blue Metallic. I'm kind of wary that if they're pressed together too much, that they might stick, but we'll see how that works out. This was a lot of fun. I want to talk about the templates. Now, you did not see me make this because I've spent a lot of time making this. But I want to show you the process. This was my little bird, and I drew him like this on a piece of folded paper, and then when I opened him up, they became lovebirds. And then when I created the zine, just say that this was the folded zine, I put it on here and copied that off over into here. And that's how I got my shapes in here. I did not copy anybody. I drew this myself. It was kind of a surprise even to me. But I want to talk about templates and how important they are, especially when you have a shaped piece. Now, this is a larger Valentine that I did not do. I did the small one. But as you can see, I needed connector points, or else this would all fall apart. I showed that happen in part 3. So this is the final template there. This was just a little template I was playing with, maybe doing some cutout pages. And this is how I arrived at my heart. Here, let me take the bobby pin off. I chose the center point on each side and the center. And I did that by just folding it into quarters and snipping on each side. And then I knew that I wanted it about a 1/2 inch, maybe a little bit more, maybe 5/8 of an inch. So I clipped it right there, and yeah, right there. And then that would have done all the side. No, I clipped it over here too. No, that's the same. That did all of them. So, and then I marked my connector points. And that was, I numbered these. That was number 1. And here I did it again this is a template to mark off where I wanted the connector points. And number 3 was just a draft of my heart. Number 4, you can see I've experimented a lot. Here I was noting to myself where I wanted this heart. And then I think I folded it in half and cut out number 5. So this one I experimented a lot with. Doing a different shapes of zines is a little bit of a challenge. Now, this is one I did before I did all of that, just to see what do I want. And you can see it's very rough. Here's my fat bird that yeah, he ate too many seeds. And this one I was playing with doing a 6-sided figure, just playing. And I think it's important to play. And then these are just some of my notes. You can see I've cut out different, one of my little birds again. I chuckle at those birds. And I have more templates. I think it's very important to do the templates. I have a whole bunch of them here. A whole bunch of them. I folded them all up into papers. I was using this book paper out of this book to draw some things. This is a template for the heart, the small heart. And let me just break them out here. These are my scribble notes. So in here are the rest of my templates where I was just playing with different sizes and shapes. I think I created this in video 3, and you can see I was just playing and how to get the small squares. Here's the heart that I was playing with. One of these I've marked as a template, and I marked my connector points. Connector points are very important. And this is another square, except I think I cut pieces out of this. No, I guess not. So think about if you want to do a shaped one, what shape do you want and where do you need your connector points? Let me put all this back. I'm laughing at all my, what am I ever going to do with this? I guess I'll create a journal, a year 2024 journal, and put all of this in an envelope, I guess. Let me tie this. Rat tail. This was a piece that I had left over from the December daily that still needs to be bound. I kind of got off on January and February. Get this in here. Doesn't want to go under. Come on, cooperate with me. Does not want to cooperate. And you'll have to forgive my fingers. I've been playing with the paints. Oh, and I want to show you something on that bird zine that I found very interesting as I was working with it. I'm going to put bobby pins in here to help keep them in here. On this bird zine, if you open it up, I colored the inside. It was made out of a book page, but I colored it with the markers, which is kind of why I have dirty fingers. But this could almost be a reversible zine. It wouldn't have verses on this side, and I don't have it folded like it tells you how it wants to fold. There's a way that it folds nice. That's folding nicer. but I drew the little wings and put the eyes on there. Yeah. So that was fun to do. And I will say, when you do something like this with the shapes, you cut it in the center just as you would on a regular zine. You cut it to that side point there. Because if you didn't do that, then you could not open it up. Let's see. There. Goes like this. So, oops, got my bird templates to put back in there. But I would encourage you to try some shapes. Just have fun with it. I want to talk about a little bit more about what we did in video 1 of planning your zine. Make notes, especially if you're going to be in a hop or a swap. I'm just going to run through this really fast. This is how I planned all my zines that I had here. I had a lot more ideas. I only did, well, I did 3 and then my notes here, but I actually did 4 on here because I wanted to play with the sewing machine. But this, what I did here, the different shapes and the sewing and all that can be used for, it doesn't have to be Valentine, it can be used for anything. Research to get inspiration, look up the history of the theme, write down your notes, and it wouldn't hurt to even mind map it. Not everybody likes to mind map. Here I listed the supplies that I used, and I made a list of words, made a list of shapes and colors, and the images. I will put a link to this image sources in the description box below. Mostly wiki and public domain pictures. The different techniques, the templates that I've done here, that's a technique. Folding is a technique. Working with different shapes, those are techniques. Then there's the testing of it, and that kind of falls within the templates. And then there's actually making them. Then I made a list of different zine types, different themes. You could do a letter, a booklet, shapes. You could do lace cuts, stained glass, storytelling, doodle, and fabric. I kind of got into the fabric here. Colors for the Valentine, or the traditional colors are red, pink, blue, and pastels. The shapes I kind of already covered, the heart, the cupid, candy, floral, box. Like I was thinking about the boxes, they cover with crepe paper. Images, just look for images in, well, I like the Metropolitan Museum of Art. I love the public domain sites. Look in any advertising or junk mail that you get or any extra magazines you have around. And draw your own and paint your own. Different words for Valentine's that I made a list here. Love, miss you, I heart you because. And I wrote down verses and quotes. I ended up taking verses. Flowers, chocolate, these are words. Candy, cupid, and hearts. And then do your make. So I hope that you've enjoyed this 4-part series that I did. I hope that you've enjoyed the entire collab. I can't wait to see what everybody else is doing. So have a great day. Have a really good Valentine Day. And go make a zine. Bye for now.